with us to do that. Chair Green, Ranking Member Thompson, thank you for being with us today. This is our commitment to restoring regular order and providing transparency to the American people. We'll give each of you up to 5 minutes, no need to use it all, for your opening statement. Then myself and the Ranking Member will each control 5 minutes for questions. We may use less than that in full due to the pending votes. Chair Green, you're now recognized.
Thank you, Chairman Stile, Ranking Member Morelli, and members of the committee. I want to start by congratulating both of you for your respective appointments to lead this important committee, which plays a critical role in the daily operations that keep the House of Representatives running and, of course, our complex secure. In the 118th Congress, the Homeland Security Committee will expand our important work overseeing the Department of Homeland Security and its components, including Customs and Border Patrol, the U.S. Customs and Border Protection, the U.S. Border Patrol, the Transportation Security Administration, the Cyber Security and Infrastructure Security Agency, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, and many others. DHS is the third largest department in the federal government with a $70 billion budget and around 250,000 employees. The mission of DHS is critical to protecting America from a litany of threats stemming from terrorism, adversarial cyber actors, the Chinese Communist Party, natural disasters, and of course the crisis along our southwest border. By investing in the Homeland Security Committee, you're making an investment in the security of the American people. Primarily, the committee's budget request will be invested in recruiting and retaining the top talent needed to sustain an aggressive tempo of investigations, legislative development, and committee oversight activities. Additionally, the Committee on Homeland Security must maintain the resources needed to go where the mission takes us, across the homeland, to hear from those serving in the front lines. We've planned a robust cadence of site visits, field hearings, and investigative travel to hold DHS accountable and provide oversight to its wide and varying mission set. From our largest cities facing threats from terrorism to underserved rural communities facing natural disasters and everywhere in between. We will maintain a steady presence along our southwest border, which faces unprecedented challenges. We will also investigate the Chinese Communist Party's threats to our supply chain at our nation's commercial ports and DHS's role in enforcing provisions of the Uyghur Forced Labor Prevention Act, and we will continue maturing the Cyber Security and Infrastructure Security Agency as it supports state and local government and private sector businesses across the country. But all this work requires the right investment for our mission. Thank you for taking the time to examine our funding requests, and I look forward to answering any questions that you have.
Thank you, Chair Green. Ranking Member Thompson, you're now recognized.
Thank you very much, Chairman Stile, Ranking Member Morelli. I appreciate the opportunity to come before you to present and support my chairperson's funding request for fiscal year 2024. As you know, well, for me, it's my 20th year on the committee. We started as a select committee, got jurisdiction, and as the chair's already indicated, we're now the third largest committee in Congress with significant missions dealing with cybersecurity. We have to secure our air, land, and sea borders, emergency preparedness, response, and recovery. But more importantly, the people who work at this agency do the Lord's work. They respond to disasters in Selma, Alabama, which is ongoing right now, and it's a major undertaking. So our budget, there's no disagreement in the request from the chairman and myself. There are some areas we need to look at. Counter unmanned aerial surveillance, DHS countering weapons of mass destruction, as well as chemical plant security. We look forward to, with proper funding, to do the necessary oversight in these areas, and with that, I yield back.
Thank you, Ranking Member Thompson. I'll now take the chair's time and recognize Mr. De-Esposito for the purpose of asking questions.
Well, thank you. Chairman, one of the things as a new member of Homeland Security that I've appreciated most from your leadership thus far is your thought process and mission that we should have our ears open, eyes open, and boots on the ground, which is one of the reasons why in part of your budget you've scheduled so many field hearings, so many trips. Why do you believe that that's so necessary in order for us to accomplish our mission of keeping this great nation safe?
Well, it stems from two sources. First, the new speaker has basically said he wants to take Congress to the American people. And so all these field hearings, we have to cover the expense of that. But I also believe, you know, from my time in the military, if you don't have the right intelligence, you can't make a good decision. So we're going to put eyes and ears on the border. We're going to go to ports and look at our ports. We're going to go visit CISA and Cybercom and all these places and learn and know what's going on so we can all, both sides of the aisle, make informed decisions. So that's the purpose of that plus-up, and I appreciate your support of it.
Thank you, Chairman. My next question was going to be how your priorities are different this Congress than from the last Congress, but I think you answered that in the first question. Our Speaker has laid out you know, a robust agenda for our committee, so I think that was answered. Chairman, I yield back.
Thank you very much. I now recognize Ms. Sewell for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and welcome. My question is really about the budget distribution. Just want to confirm that that this budget is a shared budget and that 2/3 of it, a lot of committees do 2/3, 1/3, 2/3 majority, 1/3 minority. If you could just talk a little bit about that, and also just wanted to confirm that Ranking Member Thompson, I was about to say Chairman. Okay, Ranking Member Thompson.
Don't worry, I do it in committee. Because he was my chairman when I was a freshman, and so I think 2 or 3 times now I've called him chairman. So.
Absolutely. But Representative Thompson have unfeathered, unrestricted access to his 1/3. And also I wanted to ask a question about the field hearings, but I'll wait to ask that next.
Sure, absolutely. Yes, we've kept that arrangement, and you know, Benny and I grew up about 40 miles from him in a little small town in Mississippi. We're going to work well together. We're going to disagree on some issues. I mean, that's the nature of the people who sent me here and the people who sent him here. But the last thing I'm going to do is disregard him, because if I do, I'm disregarding 760,000 Mississippians who decided to send him to Congress. So the last thing I will do is be that guy. So we're going to work well together, and that means on the budget too.
Great. Mr. Thompson, do you have anything
Well,
to add?
the formula is the same. When I chaired, it was 2/3, 1/3, and that's what it is proposed in this budget request.
Very good. On field hearings, will there be bipartisan support at those field hearings? Will we have bipartisan staffing as well as an opportunity for all members to participate? And is that the plan?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I hope that's how it works out. But we're going to do everything we can to make sure that the resources are there, the requests are there, and just as we would run a committee hearing here, we're going to do everything to run the committee exactly the same in those locations where we go remote. And that's the case with congressional delegations as well, where we're going on a fact-finding mission and not necessarily a hearing. We'll always have invites for both sides.
Mr. Thompson, anything?
Well, we
to add?
look forward to it. I can say that Chairman's enthusiasm, we have to temper with reality. There are some areas people want to go, it takes a couple of days to get there, even in this country. So with proper notification and planning, we can make it happen.
Fair enough.
Sounds great. Well, I know that both of you know that the task ahead is very important to this country, and we look forward to your continued partnership and support of each other. Thank you. Yield back.
Thank you.
Thank you both for being here. You guys have a big task in front of you. We have a serious crisis at the U.S.-Mexico border, and so I know you're going to be doing some field hearings, and so I hope we do have an opportunity to have a real bipartisan or nonpartisan look at the challenges we're facing there. I appreciate both of you testifying today, Ranking Member Thompson and Chairman Green. Thank you for being part of returning regular order to the House.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Turn on your notifications so every time I put out a video, you can know about it. It'll come up in your feed. Hit that like button if you liked it. And be positive. Peace.